Okay, so last week, the committee in charge of electing Republicans to Congress put out a messaging memo titled Making August Count. In it, they highlight that August is a great time to go home and sell your work to your constituents, except it's shaping up to be a pretty tough sell. On Monday, Congressman Mike Flood of Nebraska was heckled by his own constituents after voting for Trump's budget bill.
The Republican Party, now more than ever, represents the heart and soul of the working class.
Today, we're exposing the Republicans' desperate attempt to spin their failed agenda and showing how Democrats are stepping up and fighting back. I'm Curtis Bradley Brown, director of DNC Studios, and your host for today. It's Thursday, August 7th, and this is the Democrats' Daily Blueprint. So while Republicans try and spin their wildly unpopular agenda, good luck with that, it's worth pointing out that this messaging memo doesn't cite any sources, literally not a single verifiable way to check if they're lying or not. And even the numbers that they do use are easily proven false, like the stat about Medicaid. Speaker Johnson has claimed that there's widespread waste, fraud, and abuse in the system, but it's just not true. 95% of Medicaid payments last year were properly paid. And even within the rest of the 5%, an overwhelming majority of the time, improper payments were made because of insufficient documentation, not because of people trying to take advantage of the system. That's not an opinion or fake news, it's just the facts. And here are some other undeniable numbers. 78% of Americans have a favorable view of Medicaid. 70% of Republicans support it. So naturally, what did Republicans do? They cut it by $1 trillion. Someone tell me how any of this makes sense. This memo, again, geared toward Republican members of Congress, recommends Republican electeds hold photo ops at their local hospital to talk about the bill. What they fail to mention is that more than 300 rural hospitals are at a risk of closing because of Medicaid cuts.
One of the first roadkills, sadly, to all of this are going to be these rural hospitals, 300 of them, 500 nursing homes, 1 out of 2 people in assisted living.
The memo also encourages Republican members to take August recess to write op-eds. In an interview, the chair of the Republican conference actually recommended writing op-eds over holding in-person events. And maybe that's because every time Republicans hold a town hall, whether Brian Stile in Wisconsin or Mike Flood in Nebraska, they're coming face-to-face with voters who are mad as hell.
Probably agree to disagree on some of my answer here, but what I view is the moral hazard created by the Biden administration by allowing the U.S.-Mexico border to remain insecure. And so
you would think that in 2025, Republicans would want to support Americans who are living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, most American households are struggling just to afford basic things like gas, groceries, rent. But the budget bill that Republicans passed will cost the average lower income family $1,600 each year. And as the job market slows, thanks to Trump's trade war, it's only going to get worse. Last month, the economy only added 73,000 jobs. Not only was this far below expectations, it makes the last 3 months the weakest period for job growth since the COVID-19 pandemic. Remember, Republicans didn't have to do this. They could have raised taxes on the rich to ease the burden on everyone else, but they didn't. Instead, they're helping the top 0.1% of Americans save more than $286,000 per year. They're blowing a $4.1 trillion hole in the debt with proposals like making private jets fully tax deductible. So, this August, if you hear a Republican member of Congress trying to spin this bill as some sort of achievement in one of their public appearances, or more likely one of their op-eds, if you hear them talking about how the one big beautiful bill helps working families, just know it's a lie. And no amount of messaging memos or made-up numbers can change that fact. Democrats don't have to make up numbers. We're not scared of the public either, which is why the DNC has helped host town halls in Republican-held districts in all 50 states, nearly 150 town halls and counting. And in the coming days, we'll have Senator Ruben Gallego in Iowa, Beto O'Rourke in Oklahoma, and Gabby Giffords and Senator Mark Kelly in Colorado. We're coming together to build community and build back political power, block by block, town by town, and state by state. So if you're interested in participating in one of these town halls, or better yet, interested in hosting an event yourself, go to democrats.org/takeaction to learn more. We're going everywhere and talking to everyone because we're not waiting for election season to start. The fight starts now, and we can't wait to see you out there. Thank you so much for joining us today for this episode of the Daily Blueprint. We're here every weekday at 10 a.m. Eastern on the DNC's YouTube page. Until tomorrow.